That's like
What?
how big of a difference? I don't know. I didn't go to college.
Andrew Tate is 36. Okay, let's just.
He's pushing 40. How many 36-year-old virgins are there? Probably not many.
Yeah, but he wants to date like young baddies.
He wants someone who's barely legal. That sounds like someone who grooms.
Nah.
Because she's
This is
forgetting part of what
I'm
Andrew
so
Tate was
fucking tired
saying.
of hearing this
He
shit on
wasn't
the
just
podcast.
saying a virgin. He was saying somebody under the age of 20. So it was like 18 to 20 was his gap.
Can she go to the bar with you?
No.
He said his ideal one was a 19-year-old when he started.
That's-
She ain't getting
I
into
think
the
we
bar.
have a newsflash for you. That's a lot of guys.
We know. We already went over it, and that's. But that doesn't make it right.
Well, it
No,
doesn't,
it
it doesn't
is
make it
right.
wrong just because you think it's wrong.
Maybe there's a
A lot of
This
the
has
girls'
been-
ideals is rich guys, but
That's
are we
fine.
allowed
Does
to
it
feel like
doesn't
guilt
play
for
on
it?
their age though? I mean,
Was he old enough to drive when she was born?
What
What?
does that have to do
That's
with
a good
anything?
point. That's like it's like a way to tell the age gap is like too
Just
extreme.
because you guys feel like it's wrong doesn't make it wrong. This has been the norm throughout all of human history. Older guys with resources go for younger women. It's fine. That's human nature.
And younger women like older guys with money. They leave the younger guys their age and then they go for the rich guys. That's just life. I mean,
Younger adult women.
Yes.
because they
Debatable.
would go for a 14-year-old if they could.
No,
so they're
no,
getting the
no,
next
no,
best
no, no.
thing.
Come on.
This is
That's what I'm
projection.
saying.
This is projection.
It's not. How's it projection? I want 14-year-old. I think you're projecting right now,
What?
not me. That's
Okay,
I'm-
I will
I'm
say
just telling you
something.
what human nature is like and what it's been like throughout history. Men go
and
for
I'm
younger
telling you,
women.
it doesn't just because it's
Doesn't
human
make-
nature.
doesn't make them- doesn't
Human
make them
nature is also
pedophiles.
men go out for human nature and don't know how to keep it in their pants. That's still human nature. Doesn't mean to make it right. Just because it's human nature doesn't mean it's right.
There's plenty of women who can't keep their legs
There's kids
closed
who-
either.
who
Kiko,
grow up
there's
who are
plenty
raised
of
and they're
women who
gonna
can't
be
keep their legs
born again
closed.
Right.
Christian.
There's plenty of women who can't keep their legs closed. Doesn't make that right.
Just because you're like she said, a born again virgin doesn't mean just you can have all these new opinions of keeping your legs closed or you guys
What?
like.
No, you just said there's plenty of guys who can't keep it in their pants.
I
That
was-
doesn't make it right.
I was making a
That's not
synonym for
okay.
rape. I didn't want to say rape
What?
on here is what I meant.
Wait,
By
what
keeping
are
their
we-
pants, I was
what are
saying
we
they
even
take it on
talking about?
unwilling suspects. is
How
what I
did
was
this
saying.
What?
devolve
Not-
into rape?
Because
What
I was
are you
saying
talking about?
that's what I was saying earlier, but I was trying to use a synonym and not just use that word, just throwing it out there. But I was saying that's why you were saying human nature. There's men who like younger women by human nature. I was also saying it's human nature with how big a percentage of men we have who go out and rape women. Doesn't mean it's
Whoa,
correct.
okay, hold on.
I don't know a single guy.
Okay.
Can
who
You
would
don't,
rape-
That's
I would
too rare.
guarantee you. I would
That's
guarantee you.
insane.
Some of your close friends have probably assaulted a woman.
What?
Just based on
Facts.
numbers.
What
It's
the
numbers.
fuck?
It's 1 in 4.
Facts.
That's
No.
just based on
No.
numbers.
Okay.
Okay,
no.
I don't think that's fair to
No,
the men.
It's not
here.
1 in 4.
But you're
But
not
I
sexually
do-
active, so how would you know?
I do
What?
want to say something.
Let's
on
let.
that.
Okay, Grace, go ahead,
Just
and
real
then
quick.
we'll come back in.
I think I see where you girls are at with what Andrew Tate said and seeing it going through your head and then filtering it through that, seeing him as a pedophile or like that's leading to that. I think though, if you really look at what he's saying and you really watch that, what he's saying is that he doesn't want an older woman who's been with a bunch of partners because he wants to be, I'm not siding with him completely, but I do think that he has a good point that men do want women who have less baggage.
Why?
From-
They want to be
because-
worshipped?
Because no,
No,
Why
I mean,
would-
yeah, but why do you want them to want women with baggage? Like that doesn't make sense. You know, this same woman would not tell women to date a broke man, would not tell women to date a man without money, right? But as soon as men have preferences, it's an issue. When men have preferences, women are like, why? Why do you want that? No, you should want this. Women want to tell men what they should want. But how dare you as a man ever try to tell a woman what she should want? In fact, I believe for the most cases, men want the best for women, and women are like, no, he's not on my level. It's like, no, it's the law-abiding citizen. He makes $50,000. He has no kids. He's a good guy. She's like, no, he's not a good guy because he doesn't have money.
the
No,
guy
no.
want a
Because
woman with
women-
less
Anyone here
baggage?
that's actually married, like what the fuck? You guys
Because
don't even have
not
enough
that it's-
fucking like
No,
clout
no, no.
to say.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. That's why, like, it makes sense though for people like
I don't
Chase.
get it.
Yeah.
People like Chase who would want somebody with lower body count because he's also now saving himself. So that makes
Mhm.
sense because he's saving himself now, so he wants somebody else who's saving himself. Andrew Tate's not fucking saving himself. He's going out and probably fucking multiple women a day. So it's a little weird for somebody who wants somebody to be saving themselves
Mhm.
when somebody's body count is probably over 300.
Are men and
He
women
didn't-
the
he didn't-
same?
Hold on, though. He
Are
didn't.
men and
Oh,
women
wait,
the
wait,
same?
wait, hold on. What,
So you're
what
saying
you said,
men can go and have multiple partners, but
you
not
guys,
women.
hold on,
That's usually what they're saying.
hold on, everybody. Andrew Tate didn't say he wants a woman who's saving herself. He simply said that he wants a girl who has a lower body count and less baggage.
And
Because
12-year-olds.
no,
No,
that's not what he
what are
said.
you-
No.
what are
That's
you
not what he
talking
said.
Not all
about?
of us.
That's
are.
not what he said.
He said like 18 to 26.
Brian,
Yeah.
you can't even be mad about this. This is your fault.
What?
No,
Andrew
this
Tate's
this is
Leonardo?
ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
What's
You
ridiculous?
can't accuse men who want legal
You're getting a
of age
little-
women. You guys are accusing men who want legal of age women of being pedophiles. That
If
is a, that is a
50-year-old
crime.
man wants an 18-year-old, it's fucking
Now
weird.
it's just evolving.
weird.
First it was
Because
mid
you know why?
30s, now it's 50.
Can I
You,
say
you guys are
something?
making it more and more
because
ridiculous.
It's like, for me, I'm only 22 years old, and when I see most 18-year-old boys, they literally look like children to me. They look like a whole fucking child that I could have birthed myself. When I see a
Women are
16-year-old
not-
boy, they literally look like infants.
Yeah, but women and men are attracted to different things. Honestly, I think the same things men and women are attracted to in each other is probably maybe good character and good moral character. That's the thing that may be the same thing. Maybe good money management skills. Other than that, everything men like, women like the opposite, right? When women are crying for I want a guy who's 6 feet, very few men, if any, are crying I need a woman who's 6 feet. Completely different. You know what I mean? So for her to compare herself to men, like as if men and women like the same things, is I would think that's common sense. But clearly the only issue they have is that they know at some point they're going to be 30, 35, 45. And then the guys they don't like now in their age group will want younger women. But it's like you didn't want them when they were your age group. You wanted older guys. They never talk about that. They only make it seem like it's just the older men who want younger women. But those younger women are saying yes. They don't want the guys their age. They go for the older men because they have money.
Okay, I'm attracted to women too. If I see a 16-year-old girl, I'm like, they still look like a fucking child.
We're not
They
talking
look
about
like a
16.
child.
We're not talking
I
about
know,
16
but you're not getting my point.
She
You're not
keeps
getting my
talking about
Okay,
teenagers.
even an 18-year-old girl now at 22 years old, I see most 18-year-olds. I'm like, holy crap, you look like a whole child, like a freaking infant compared to me, and I'm only 22.
Infants?
So that's why it's weird to me. Yes.
Okay.
Like off the bat, I
Let's
could
not get
tell.
into
infant
semantics.
is a
You know what she's
baby.
trying to get at.
Thank you. Off the bat, I could tell that she was the youngest one in this room immediately. It was obvious. It was obvious. She carries herself very youngly. It's not something, even though she's only
Shots
a year
fired.
younger than me.
Shots
No, but
fired.
seriously,
Fired.
you could just tell. Like you could just tell, and if that's what you're seeking out, it's weird to me. Point blank. Period.
You sound very
Okay.
triggered by it for
Yeah.
some reason.
I do because it's. I know it's not all men.
How old are you?
But it's 22.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's the men who try to act like it's not a big issue because
It's not an issue.
It's not.
It's
not an issue
man.
for men.
It's not an issue at all.
It's
No.
not. It's not.
We're literally like so many guys.
What are you trying to say? Pedophilia is not an
No,
issue?
No.
No. Oh
That's
my.
basically what
you're
Oh
saying, though.
my God. Why do they always go to that? It's like, oh my God. They always try to paint men as monsters. Always. Like anytime a man has a preference, it's either say you hate women, you're gay. Now they're saying, oh, you're a PDE file. Like they always try to paint men's preferences as just monsters.
You keep making it into pedophilia,
Yep.
but it's not.
That's
Exactly.
our whole
You're
conversation.
you're
that we
trying
brought up.
to
That's the conversation
Chico,
we're on right
you're
now.
trying to shame men for having preferences for younger women
Yeah, for having
by
preferences.
labeling it something that's illegal.
Fact.
What would you
That's a
call
classic.
it?
That's a
Okay.
classic shame tactic.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about having interest in women under the age of 18.
Fact.
We just said a lot of men prefer younger women. And you're like, that's fucking pedophilia. I think this is projection.
That's
You're probably
ad hominem.
fact.
you- yeah.
Now let's
You're
move
saying
on
you
to
know what
probably-
projection
you're
means? Do you know
probably-
what projection means?
You're yeah.
So
it
then you're
is.
going to accuse me of being basically a pedophile. Then is what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
not
Okay.
accusing you.
Okay, but
of,
then
I'm
know
not
what the term
accusing you
means. Then
of
know what
being a
the term means.
pedophile. Okay. What I'm accusing you of is being triggered by this and trying to shame men
I'm
because
triggered
you
by it.
know it won't work in your favor someday.
Maybe
Mhm.
I'm so triggered by it
She
from the
knows that.
time when I was underage and how many older men were trying to
But
get
we're
at
not-
me. I couldn't even walk down the street
That's
We're
not-
not
without.
that's not
talking
We're
what
not
about the
talking
same
about those
thing.
guys.
We're not talking about the same thing. We're talking about adult. We're talking about adult women here between the age of 18 to 25.
But calling an 18 teen-year-old an adult
Doesn't
that's
matter.
like-
It's still legal.
Yes,
Doesn't
you're an
matter.
adult.
Doesn't
at
matter.
18.
See, they keep trying to change what the age is. So at 18, they don't want to be adults anymore. You know what that means? They don't want to be accountable for shit. But you know one thing I know for sure? If you're 18 and you kill someone, you're going to jail for life. No judge is going to be, oh, he's a teen, she's a teen, let's give her a chance. No, you killed someone, you're going to jail for life. But for some reason, when it comes to dating, then they try to change the legal age, right?
Still legal.
That's
You're
really
legally an adult.
crazy
How is
you
that-
say
You're legally an
Okay.
adult.
That way too.
Okay, hold on. Let me. I want to
can't
come in
wait
on
to
this.
see
So
this.
hold on. Let me come in and I'll let you. Okay, so first off, at 18 years old, you can buy a gun. You can
What
join
kind
the
of gun?
military.
Not all guns. So please
What?
Just let him
clarify.
finish.
You
Let him.
can't-
Let him
Can't
finish.
buy
stop-
handguns.
Can you stop
Stop
interrupting?
talking.
Like, let
Let
me
him
talk.
Stop talking. Let him finish.
Okay, so at 18, you're an adult. You're legally an adult at 18. If you want to attach the teen to it at 18, 19, fine. But this is the thing, is that men are not allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries. It happens to be the case that men are attracted to younger women for a myriad of reasons. And when I say younger women, I mean women, adult women from 18 and up, okay? 18, let's say 18 to 25. They've done studies on this. They ask men of all ages, the peak attractiveness that they see in women is between the age of like 20 and 21. 20 and 22 is what men find the most physically attractive, that age range. It's kind of funny, like men, we don't shame women for y'all preferences. If
Exactly,
you want
for
a
the
guy
tall
who's
guys.
confident, rich, funny, charismatic, all these things, right? But men, we have different preferences than you guys do.
What's the
We're
age range
attracted
on the men that you're talking about from this observation?
from
It's when they
18
die.
from 18 to 60. Men
18
prefer
till
what?
60,
Yes,
okay.
men find the most of the women that they find the most attractive. It's between 20 and 22.
What about the 65-year-olds?
They-
It's the same. He showed a little thing, and it's like
It's-
basically it just stops
it's a
at like
chart.
22. Like they just stop finding women over the age of 22 attractive, no matter how old they get.
But it's funny, like men always get shamed for this. It's always met with some sort of contempt, disdain, shaming language, insecure. I'm not going to use the
No, but
word.
women get
If you
all
want
this
a girl,
stuff.
if you want a girl with big
Brian.
titties and a fat ass, I would say that's your preference, dude. Go for it. It's a preference. I understand that I have a problem with.
Okay, here's another reason why men buy it. There's an Evo Psych reason for why men care about a woman's age, why they prefer younger women. It comes down to fertility. Younger women
Yep.
are more
Yep.
capable
Yep.
for
You
the
think that's
reason
common
why.
sense.
Okay, let's say you're 35. Let's say you're a 40-year-old man. You're not going to, if you want to have a family, you want to have children, you're not going to pair with a 40-year-old woman because the likelihood that
Mhm.
she's going to be able to bring a pregnancy to term is minuscule. So as a 40-year-old guy, you're going to be looking younger. You're going to be looking late 20s, 30s, in that age range. You're gonna-
Especially if you're a 40-year-old guy and you want like 5 kids, you got your money and you want like 5 kids. Do you know what I mean? Because most women who are in that age group want maybe one, because they've been living there, summer girl, hot girl, summer, down in the streets. They don't have the motherly instinct. They want one, maybe 2, if you're lucky. But if you're the guy who's 40 years old and you want 5 kids, it's very unlikely that a 40-year-old woman is going to give you all those kids, right? Number 2, like he said, men respect women's preferences of tall, rich, and these things like that. If women want men to stop having their preferences, women have to change their preferences as well. Go date the bum, go date the nice guy, go date the broke guy, the average guy. Start dating men who are 5'5", But for some reason, women's preferences stay the same, and then they shame men.
always be looking younger because but for biological reality, women at a certain age can no longer bring a child to term.
Facts.
So it's on an intellectual level, like I can think, okay, I'm not going to try to date a 40-year-old if I want to have kids, but also it's an evolutionary thing. We look for indicators of youth, and that's what we find attractive.
They hate that.
I get that point.
They hate that because at some point, the younger women are going to be competing with them.
And I would say that's a good percentage of the reason why, whatever. But I would think it's unfair to say that's the majority, because like where I think of the stereotypical,
doesn't get it. She,
like huge age gap relationship, it's usually the divorced older man who already has his kids, an ex-wife who's now getting with the hot young 20-year-old. They don't even have kids 99% of the time. The guys who seek out these young girls, let me not say 99 because I know you guys are gonna kill me.
they want him for the money, though.
When I see most of these men with the younger girls, I honestly don't see most of them reproducing with them. Maybe on occasion, like on freaking Modern Family with severe Viagra, but usually they're not having
Can I
kids.
say
But I get it.
something?
Go ahead.
Just so your thing about age gap, kind of like just doesn't resonate with me because my parents have a 22-year age gap, and my dad was a divorced grandfather when he met my mom, who was 22 years younger and engaged, and he broke up her engagement as a divorced grandfather. And
How old was your mom?
my mom was 30 and my dad was 50.
Okay,
So
I think age gaps are automatically thrown out the window when 30 is involved. But
okay,
Oh
I don't
my
get
God.
that then. I don't know.
Oh my God. This woman just keeps changing the goalpost. When she doesn't like something, she just changes the goalpost. When she loses the point, she changes the goalpost. Oh, so now a man who's 50 years old and a woman who's 30 years old is not an issue. The only issue she has if a woman is 20 something. Or if a woman is 18 or 19. Oh, now it's an issue. But like, what's the, oh my God.
Because after once you hit 30, you've gone through so much of your lifespan and you're so far away from 18 and like
So do
being
you
a
think
kid at that
women
point.
aren't truly adults until they're 30? Like they
No,
Good
I
don't
question.
never
really have a
said
full
that.
life?
I never said that. But I think
That's what you implied by saying men should only date women who are 30 years old. You're implying before a woman hits 30, they're dumb. They just caught her. She just shot herself in the foot.
that a lot of women under the age of 25 or closer to that point don't have a lot in common with men who are 50 plus or whatever. And I think they do have more characteristics of just being young. I feel like once you're at 30, like especially my coworkers that I know, once they're at 30, you're just at a more adult place in your life. Not everybody, obviously, everybody's different, everybody ages differently. But most 30-year-olds I know are at the same range as 40-year-olds and plus than my 25 and under friends that I know. So like I don't want to be 22 living in my dorm in IV with 8 people going on, and then my boyfriend is dropping off his 3 kids to school or is going to be welcoming his, grandchild or something. Like it's just different
But
realms.
we don't want that either. We don't want that either.
I'm not saying you do, but
Yeah.
she was just bringing up the age gap. Why I don't think 30 is different because I think somebody at
Yeah.
30 is doing different things than somebody at 22, 23.
I'd agree with
whatever.
that. I don't
What about
think
the
the
sugar
guys
mummies?
should, I don't think men should be shamed
What are the
though
other
for having those preferences. As a woman, I'll say that because, and I don't think it's demeaning to women that they do. And the reason being is because it's biologically wired into them.
Mhm.
So it's not them doing that to be, it's just a way
Can I
that
ask you a question?
it's
then?
what men
hold on, I'll
look
let you
for.
come
Go
in
ahead,
really
go
quick.
ahead.
So
Just to add to her point, it's rooted in biology
Yeah.
and evolutionary. It's hardwired attraction traits. Go ahead.
So,
Or
but what about like the opposite? So if all these men of all these ages are all going for like the same age group, is there any like young men that are like, well, I don't stand a chance in hell. I'm not particularly rich and stuff. All I have is my youth. Is there any like, like what about the sugar mama situation? Is there like the
They're
young
really-
men that's just like, well, I'm young,
That's
dumb,
rare.
and full of cum. I don't want to get some bitch pregnant because that's a whole thing to deal
Well-
with. And like, I could just go for them old baddies and they got their own money and they don't give a shit that I'm poor. I mean, right? That's
well, okay, so
Yeah, the sugar mommy, there are very few sugar mommies out here. There are some, but they're very few. Because usually, even when a woman makes lots of money, she wants a man who makes even more money. So if you find a woman who's 50 years old, and let's say she makes $1 million, she's going to want a man who's either 60, 70, who makes 2 million, if not $5 million. So for a woman who makes $1 million at 50 years old to come down for a younger man, it's either just going to be obviously just for sex, or maybe she has really failed to get one of the older, richer guys. So it's very, very rare for a woman who makes lots of money to come down and get a younger man. If it happens, that's because she has failed to get the richer guy that she really wants.
I'll speak to
isn't
that.
that a thing?
I dated a woman who's 45.
Right.
On the
She probably
finances
didn't need
side,
anything. I mean, maybe
well,
she wanted sex, but maybe financially. and stuff.
well, no, yeah, and she didn't have children, so she was, there weren't issues there. But I mean, it certainly wasn't a sugar mama situation.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it didn't have to
Sugar.
exactly be that. I was just
But-
thinking it's like if everyone's going for the same young girls, what are the young guys going for? Like,
well,
do they
no-
stand a chance?
if you ask men like what they find attractive, they will say that, but most men probably like they're not going to have either be physically attractive enough or be of a certain status
Mhm.
level to be able to you know, if you're in your 30, if you're 35, but you're kind of a bum, you're good luck with the 20-year-olds,
Mhm.
you know. But Tatum, did you want to come in on this?
Oh,
Your thoughts
my
on
thoughts
the
on
whole
it.
age gap?
She better have
age
a
is
good
just a
answer.
number to me, so it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, though, like if I was a 22-year-old and a 40-year-old was pursuing me, I would think that's a little creepy. I'm not
If
gonna
you
lie.
were a what?
If I was like a 22-year-old and a 40-year-old was pursuing me, I would probably find that a little strange.
You know, the only time they find it strange if it's a 40-year-old who's broke, doesn't have a nice car, who's not a celebrity, right? Because we have all these celebrities who are 40 years old, they would get her at any time. Like we have all these movie stars. You think if a movie star who's 40 years old approaches a woman who's 22 years old, she's going to say no? She's never going to say no. But if she knows he's rich, he's pulling up in a nice car, in a Lamborghini, in a Rolls Royce, you think a 20-year-old woman is going to reject a rich 40-year-old man for a 20-year-old broke guy? It's never going to happen. I don't know why they lie. Like this is so guys, I'm heated. I don't know if you can tell. It's so annoying because they're lying.
Find it strange.
I would find it strange because I'd be like, what do I have to offer you? Like, you know what
Your
I'm saying?
beauty?
Like,
Yeah, your beauty, your youth, your fertility.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Oh,
bro, like
so
that.
much objectifying here.
I know it's very triggering,
Not
but
your
it's the truth.
personality, definitely not that.
no, I totally understand. When you guys said,
Obviously, assuming she has a personality, those are the
maybe
benefits that
legs and
comes with
feet
it.
too. She can walk over and then suck that big old.
What the fuck?
I
Oh,
mean,
It's just
okay,
like-
man. Shout out to Brian. Shout out to you guys when in here with Boogie on another nice live stream Wednesday.